action before we start, so I know when we're starting.
So I'll just do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then action.
Sure.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, action. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Comedians on Console. My name is Rafiq Shaheen, and I'm going to be your host once again. As with me, as always, is my co-host, Alan Dempsey.
Why am I the co-host, you bastard? That's not cool.
Yeah, well, guess what? I bought this shit. I get to be co-host.
Well,
when you throw down $400+ on equipment,
look,
then you get to be the host.
If you're going to bring up practical shit in a moment like this, then what am I going to do with you?
So yes, as you can see, co-host Alan Dempsey has some issues.
Right, that's fine.
With the billing.
Co-host, also known as guy who just got put in his place.
The billing. Alright, let's get back to the...
Is this exactly where we were?
Yes, this is exactly where we were.
The miracle of editing.
For the most part. You know, there's something weird about Stormtroopers that I've always thought was kind of odd. Is like, so you have the clone troopers, and then you have Stormtroopers, which are supposed to be...
like recruits, right?
Yeah, right? But, like, there's still a moment in, like, the books and the expanded universe and everything like that, where, like, it never made sense to me as to, like, why you would just stop using clone troopers. Because in the movie, that's pretty badass.
Any of that shit's canon anymore.
Well, the thing is like, they explain it in, like, some of the games and, like some of the Lucas-approved games and shit like that.
Well, even the Lucas-approved, like, you know that they drew a line about a year ago and said, like, everything before this date is no longer canon.
Oh, really?
Oh, you didn't know this?
No, I had not known.
In April of let's say 14. It was like April in 2014, some specific date.
Yeah.
They made
This motherfucker right here.
Get him. They made a very definitive statement. They were like, everything other than the movies and other than the Rebels cartoon, everything else published before this date is no longer canon. Everything done after this date will be canon.
Okay.
But it's also, you are a big enough nerd to know, it's also that gray area thing where like one of the now non-canonical characters might still show up in one of the novels, you know. So it was just a way.
Is this cool and does this make us money?
Right, but it's also that thing of like, I respect it because basically they've already made 7, 8, 9 in the novels.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if you're beholding to these novels and things, you're basically just going to make adaptations of stuff that's already happened. So I kind of appreciate the fact that Disney went, no, let's just make original, brand new movies and not have to bow to some novel that was written in 1985.
Yeah,
you know
that's fair. I mean, it's a good thing, too, because then you avoid all that R.L. Salvatore, like, expanded universe bullshit.
And you avoid, you know, nerds arguing about it. Well, that doesn't make sense because in episode 7 of the 15th novel of...
And we do love to argue.
We do. We really do.
There's always a point with nerds, and, like, I am a nerd all the live long day, but there's always a point where I find myself being like, my people exhaust me. I must go.
Dude, all the live long day. The other day at the show, when I was introducing Nina, my brain, you know those moments where you just blank?
Yeah.
And for some reason, this is what came out of my mouth. I go, she performs all about the town. And then I spent the next, 2 minutes just talking about what an asshole I am for saying all about the town.
She's a classy broad, apparently.
All about the town.
That's the term that goes with it. It would be broad, correct?
This broad's all about the town. I don't know.
It's terribly sexist to say, but that feels so good. I know you don't really care.
No, the graphics on that look really cool, the way that shatters.
But, there's something amazing to me about when you get to use the term, like anything that along the lines of dapper.
Dapper Dan.
Yeah.
I'm a Dapper Dan man.
Ah, did not suck him into space, really?
That's horseshit.
Come on, Kevin.
What's
let's
the
try
point?
this again.
Honestly, what's the point if you can't throw people in space? What's the point
I
of
know,
living?
right? Oh, you gotta live your life somehow.
So I went to an open mic one time, and they on the sign up they actually had a thing on the top of the sheet of paper that said like, "Do not say these words," and they listed the words, and one of them was the N word. And I looked at the girl like running the. It wasn't even her rules. It's like
Yeah.
somebody else had written it, and they had to use it. And I looked at her and I said, "Look, if I can't say the N word, what am I going to talk about?" And she goes, "Really? Like, who are you at this point if you can't say that?"
You know, like we were talking about before, it is one of those super weird things of like, sometimes you have to look at motherfuckers and you're just like, look, dude. I don't know why this tack thing is an issue for you, but apparently it is, so... And, you know, and that's another thing, too, though. Like, it is weird that you have to, like, there's TV clean for a reason, you know? Because, one, it's not always pleasant to hear all those things, either. But, two, like, legitimately, there does come a certain point in a lot of these things... What the fuck? There does come a certain point in a lot of these things where you sit down and you have to look at people and it's like, do you really need to say that?
Right.
Like,
is there another way you can articulate that?
Yeah, it's like, that's not even necessarily funny. It's just like, did you need to say that? Like, did that make your point any better or worse? Could I have lived my life and not heard you use the N-word? Because trust me, as someone who is African American, who lives in the South, I have heard the N-word plenty of times. Although
you know, you're one of the only guys I know who can legitimately say African American.
Yeah.
Your family is from Africa, like for realsies.
Yeah, and actually, we haven't talked about that yet, have we?
I don't think so.
Well, I mean, it's only episode 2, so obviously we haven't talked about that. But yeah, for those at home, or those watching on the interwebs, I was born in Monrovia, Liberia, which means the west coast of Africa. For people who are bad at geography, it's the place the Lion King. The place the Lion King comes from. Let's go with that.
Awesome. I like it already. I like the part where they all dance around when he says he can't wait to be king. Was it like that when you were a kid?
Yeah, basically. Let's go with that. You know, I discovered that this past year, and I think that's how I'm going to look at it, at least for the time being, going forward, is I realized that for most Americans, or maybe just white people in general, they tend to think of the world in terms of Disney movies.
Yeah, they do.
It's like, do you know what Disney movie you come from?
What part of Mulan do you come from?
Yeah, it gets super weird sometimes because you have conversations with certain people and it's like, you don't know where Senegal is. Like,
I've never even heard of that till you just said
my
it.
goodness.
I am geographically retarded. I mean, I can barely get home, so...
But like,
cut me some slack when it comes on a global scale.
Okay, but I mean, like, still, you'll have a conversation with people, and you go, like, Portugal is located next to, and people will just be like,
Puerto Rico?
Yeah, exactly.
Mexico? No, that would have been funnier. Should have said Mexico. Let's do some rewrites on that joke.
Yeah, just keeping that in mind.
Why is there a goddamn... What is going on this ship?
Oh, okay, so... we've been sent here... We've talked about this before.
I didn't understand it the last time you explained it to me.
Basically what's going on is we are Vader's apprentice. And he told us to come here and kill this Jedi in order to start training us for the moment where, like, me and Vader are totes best friends, and we kill the Emperor together, basically.
Okay, but...
Right? So...
What was going on before you got here? There's an ATST just shooting at people.
Well, I think they call it something else in this one.
Just answer the question. You don't have to tell me exactly which robot it is.
Basically what ends up happening is... Oh, damn it. is what was I gonna say? Yes, General Coda, I think is the character. Oh, damn. Well,
That was our first death. That was only our first death. That's good.
General Coda is attacking a Imperial shipyard, which is where we're at.
Okay. And there's a Jedi there.
Yes.
And we're trying to get rid of that Jedi.
Yes, in order to prepare ourselves for the moment where we kill the Emperor.
And why did we to prepare to? Okay, you just answered my question. I was gonna ask why we kept killing stormtroopers, but
well, it's mostly because Vader is taking the stance of like, no one can know about you because the Emperor will straight up murder me.
Got it.
If you do.
Oh, you need to be reading the current Star Wars books at the Marvel books.
Wait, oh yeah, that's right.
I
guess Dark Horse doesn't have that anymore.
No, they went back to Marvel because it's all under the Disney umbrella now.
Yeah.
And
that thing is fucking terrifying when you think about it.
Oh, I know, the Disney rules everything.
Well, yeah.
No, I was gonna say the angle that they're playing right now with Vader is so cool because it's something I never thought of, which is how angry the Emperor must be with Vader.
Oh.
You know, the kids just destroyed the Death Star, and then in the comic,
this is so cool.
That is really cool. Oh, you're compressing it? That's great. Okay, that's pretty great. And this guy's... I like how this guy just like, no, I'll get him with my lasers. That'll work, right? I mean...
There's no way he could figure out... oh, no, he's going to straight up murder me? Okay.
I mean, I just saw him compress a robot without touching it, but, you know, I got a gun, so, I mean...
To be fair, though, if you saw that, wouldn't you just start opening
Just
fire?
start blindly, just go into a complete panic. Yeah, maybe. No, guys, it's okay. I got a stick that glows on the end. I got him. So they blow up the Death Star.
Yeah.
And then in the comic, the very next thing they do is they shut down a weapons factory.
Yeah.
So
the rebels are kicking ass.
Yeah, the rebels are really doing well right now.
Oh, crap.
And so it's an angle I never thought of, which is like how pissed the Emperor must be at Vader. Of like, dude, they destroyed the Death Star on your watch.
Yeah.
You know, and it got to the point where literally Vader wandered into a competition for his replacement.
Yeah.
Like the Emperor had a bunch of dudes that were all competing, and the Emperor just was like not even sly about it. He was like, yeah, these people are all going to fight each other, and whoever wins is going to take your place. Yeah. Which meant Vader had to get involved and kill everybody.
Of course, Vader's
and then,
supposed
okay,
to be
so
like
then
the
what
greatest
happens, right?
of the greatest.
So then the best part was, so he runs into Luke again, at least in the comic. So, but even without the comic, you still have to appreciate this moment. Like, at some point, they finally find out who this kid is, and they go, his name is Skywalker.
Yeah.
And Vader is standing. He's on the bridge and he's looking out at that huge glass,
expands,
and the huge glass just starts cracking and cracking. He's just standing there, but the glass around him is just cracking. And
here's the question: is it him or is that?
Oh, that was definitely him.
Okay.
That was him, like in a rage, because what they go on to reveal is that now he realizes, I've been doing everything the Emperor wants, and the Emperor's been lying to me all this time.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's one of the perpetual problem with the whole Sith mythology in the first one. Damn it, I keep on doing that. With the whole Sith concept in the first place. Of like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna train you to be a badass.
To eventually kill me.
Yes, because that's how you replace me.
But even as bad as the prequels are, they have their moments. And one of the moments in the prequels is that he starts talking about how fear is actually part of the dark side. The fear of losing your power.
Yeah.
Is actually part of kind of the dark side mythology.
Yes.
Or dogma, I guess would be a better word. Dogma.
And?
Yeah,
okay. I'm glad we got that out of the way.
But they're actually doing, I'm a little bit behind on both the books. I read Darth Vader and I read Star Wars.
Mm.
But they're...
Ironically, both of those seem to be...
Well, no, because they're doing a lot of books. They did a Leia book, they did a Chewbacca book, a Lando. They're doing...
I always felt that Lando got so much more shit than he should have. That's going to piss a lot of
What,
people
in
off.
the second movie?
No, in general.
What do you mean what do you mean by shit?
People all the time, when they talk about Lando Calrissian, they're like, man, Lando betrayed Han Solo and the gang. And it's like, dude, that would be like if the FBI showed up at your house and said, hey, you know this dude in high school who stole your car in a poker game? Yeah, he's going to swing by in a little bit. So either you help us or we murder everyone you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've rewatched the original 3. I'm gonna put on my big boy pants and sit through the new 3 soon, but...
Ooh, do we really have to call them the new 3?
The new 3, the prequels.
That kind of hurts my balls. Like,
look, they're new to me. I'm 36.
I mean, no, I'm saying we can call them the prequels because the prequels imply, like, oh, there's something better going on after this. But to say the new 3 hurts my testes. Like,
that's the one you are not going to get on, and you need to quit trying.
No, that's the one I am going to get on. Because fuck you, Mr. Dempsey. How do you like them apples?
Did we go through all that just so you could get a yellow blob?
Yes, we did.
Okay, good.
I'm glad you are now on board. Oh, yeah,
you know what I was playing before you got here?
What?
Game Boy Popeye 2. And I am wholeheartedly convinced that the people that made Super Mario Land are the people that made Game Boy Popeye 2. Because the soundtrack is very similar, the blocks look exactly the same, the controls are very similar.
Dude, all those things back in, like, there was an era in which basically everyone sat down and like, hey, what game is this like? Metroid? Alright, cool, we'll call this Metroid Fighter. Like...
Well, what was crazy, it was a side-scroller, which was weird, because it's goddamn...
Damn it!
What is going on right now?
The game is glitching, because essentially...
Okay, that's what I thought was happening.
It kept on registering me... Oh, fuck. It kept on registering me and another asshole on the elevator. So it was like, alright, you go all the way up, and then he hits the button, you go all the way back down.
Nice.
Then you hit the button again, you go all the way up. Oh, you were saying?
Oh, it was a side-scroller, which is weird, because it's Popeye. But it was also very, like Mario, like you could jump on the clouds and shit. And like...
As long as it's not Popeye movie, I think we can all agree.
But then second level turned into Castlevania. Like you're underground.
Oh, you're talking about that era of video games where they're like, we're not sure what any of this is.
Like you're underground, the music gets scary, there's bats everywhere, everything's made of spikes.
People like the video games, I think.
And to me, you know what it was? To me it felt like the game was a giant fuck you, because clearly the people who made Mario Land 2 are not the people who made Mario Land 1.
Yeah.
They're very different games. This game was clearly made by the people who made Mario Land 1. So it felt like they were going, fuck you, not only could we have made a Mario game, we could have also made a Castlevania game, you son of a bitch.
This is true.
Are you doing that? That's awesome.
Yeah. Come on.
You just-
Yeah!
Frying motherfucker.
Although I will admit.
There's a dude right...
Yeah.
Go down. Up. There he is. You should be frying him.
Nah,
Well, that thing was in your way, but...
Yeah.
There he is.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he just evaporated. He didn't even die. I like how these guys have no sense of self-preservation. You're just gonna stay... Hey, is that laser getting close? I don't know, maybe I'll just stand here some more.
That's the problem with AI, baby. You get to a point where you're just like, I don't know how to live my life anymore.
Hey, Bob, is that laser getting a little close? Oh, he evaporated.
What?
Oh.
What happened to Bob? Oh, his lunch. I guess that's what happened to Bob. That's one weird thing about games too that you'll see all the time is like there will be certain moments in which the AI is grossly incompetent, and then other moments where you're just like, for fuck's sake, like,
cut me a break. It's just a game. I didn't want to play against an actual guy.
like, jeez. I was actually reading something today, which I have a copy of it. I don't know if we're actually gonna get to it. We might. I don't know if it'd be fun to actually watch someone play it, but Crysis is like a kind of sci-fi first-person shooter, and I have the version where basically in order to keep you on the island where all the shit is going down, they basically programmed in a bunch of sharks.
Ah.
And so if you go too far into the water, these sharks will just straight up come up and try to murder you. However, the game is not that smart. So if you are on land and you try to attack these things, the shark just goes, oh, we need to chase him, and it will start chasing you on land.
Yes! It's like flopping on the beach after you
No. I mean like flying through the jungle skies,
yes, it is.
like chasing you down.
Yes, it is. Of course it is, and that's awesome.
I was reading about it because like I hadn't played like they were talking about like a bunch of those games, and I hadn't played Crysis in a while, and damn it, you know the shitty thing is like if that was anyone else, they would have been straight up dead. But I'm just soaking up laser blast, like could take a little less.
Yeah, you got Evil Force.
There we go. Yeah, I don't know, man. I will say this though, like, and I know you're gonna disagree with me, but this is fucking fantastic. Like, this is a game.
Yes. So far, this is a game.
Like, and I know you don't like content or like plot dumps and everything like that, but like I feel that all that other stuff is too, you know. Like, it's amazing the fact that like Super Mario, as great as that is, that's not this.
Right.
That's like that's.
Look,
you're
I'm not blind. I see that you're guiding a giant laser in front, motherfuckers. I get that. That's awesome. There's something moving around down there.
You just
get
noticed
that little bastard. I don't know who that is, but I don't like him.
Skill. Yes, I should probably turn this off when I get a moment.
There's a red blob down on the ground I saw.
Yeah. Those are all like temporary stat, or not stat, but like temporary enhancements and things like that. Anyway, but the fact is like I couldn't do this, you know. Like there was a point in time in gaming, for gaming's sake, in which the notion of telling this story was beyond us.
Right.
Yeah, and the fact that we've come so far that I can just be like, I'm a space Jedi. Not even just like a Jedi.
Not one of those jungle Jedis that are so popular. You are specifically a space Jedi.
Oh, like that. Like, that looks so fucking cool.
It really does. Oh, and it turned off right when it got cool looking.
Like, oh my goodness.
Hey, guy, how you doing?
Yeah, so I'm going to say this because he's probably not going to.
That guy looks like a weird redneck.
Kinda. He's missing a trucker hat. That's what he's missing.
Y'all won't fight? Y'all won't fight with the force or nothing?
So I'm gonna say this because I highly doubt my brother's gonna see any of these before it becomes a thing. But I'm gonna buy him for Christmas a lightsaber.
You did tell me this.
Yeah. And the thing though is I'm trying to find the color for him because he feels like green is too generic, and I kind of agree with him.
Well, I told you to go just purple, and you got a little offended when I said that.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, come on, dude, really? Like, purple is a pimp color. I'm not dissuaded by that. I'm just saying, like, really, dude, the first suggestion to the black guy is, go for purple. I mean, that's the color of your people, right? Like, that's...
But, I mean, isn't it? I mean, isn't it?
I'm gonna lie, that is kind of true, so...
I hear that the reason why Sam Jackson's was purple was just because he asked for it.
Oh, yeah.
And Lucas went, yeah, whatever.
Well,
yeah, sure.
part of it was like, according to the story.
The story that they made up after the fact that Lucas had nothing to do with.
Well, no, it was more so like Samuel Jackson wanted to distinguish himself. To be like, alright, this is my dude in the scene.
Oh, okay.
And so he requested a different color lightsaber, and they kind of went, which one? And he said purple, obviously, you know.
He should have just looked. He should have. When Sam Jackson gets asked that question, he doesn't even answer. He just points at himself. And people go, oh, he means purple.
He's like, I got it. Okay, I know what the kids like.
Man, you trounced that motherfucker.
Yeah. Doing a lot better than before,
Yeah,
aren't
you are.
I?
Absolutely. Hey, man, don't hurt me, none.
Oh, he's just gonna pull out his banjo now.
Oh shit.
Yeah, okay, so here's a question I gotta
Force the
ask.
son. Force him.
What is your preferred interpretation of the Force? I always like I hate.
Oh, is it falling while you're fighting?
Yeah.
That is cool.
I hate the concept of midichlorians to no end.
Well, again, like I said, have been saying, that is something, as is most things in the prequels, that Lucas probably doesn't know what it means. He just threw it in the script for whatever reason. Just because, basically, he threw it in the script because he needed an excuse for Liam Neeson to think that this kid had the Force.
Yeah.
So he was like, I don't know, maybe there's something in their blood, and I'm not going to follow up on it in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, he really
You know?
doesn't.
And, you know, that's how the prequels work. It's just Lucas going, what works? What do I need to do to make this scene happen the way I want? Regardless of logic or anything else that happens in this movie.
Yeah, it's just... I always thought it was so much cooler. The whole concept of being Force sensitive was always something that was a little odd to me in the first place, but I did get it, you know. Oh, fuck me, we're burning... Ah, damn it! Burning up.
You got burnted.
Was always a weird thing to me because I looked at all this and I was like, this is cool. Like, anyone could become a Jedi with the right training.
Exactly.
And, you know, it was this mystical, quasi-religious thing. Kind of like a Shaolin monk.
And one, that's also the whole argument that the whole idea of having... There are some who say that the whole idea of having Yoda flipping around with a lightsaber takes completely away from what made Yoda cool in Empire Strikes Back. Was that I'm looking for this great warrior. Wars not make one great.
Okay.
You know,
yeah.
and this idea that this little tiny goblin dude could be the most powerful Jedi.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with his ability to backflip with a fucking lightsaber.
Okay, yeah. No, in that respect, I definitely agree with that concept.
Meanwhile, there's nothing cooler than watching Yoda backflip with a lightsaber.
I don't know. I actually really did not like that scene.
Oh, I pissed my pants when I saw that.
That was one of those moments where, like, people kept on saying, like,
about to get burnt.
This is super cool, and I was
The floor
like,
is lava! The floor is lava!
Hey, watch me cheat the fuck out of this fight.
That's fine. That's why they did that. Wait, how come you immediately died when you touched the floor, but not this son of a bitch?
No, I was that low on health
okay.
in the first place. But, oh, damn.
Yeah, get out of there. You would think that for being like the last Jedi, this guy would be a little more well-trained. He kind of sucks.
He kind of does.
I mean, he did knock that thing out into orbit, which was cool.
Although, to be fair, the fact that I am quite literally rocking this dude with the Force is kind of sick.
I do like the fact you're wearing bondage gear, too. That's fun.
Isn't that all the Sith Lords, though? I think it's kind of one of the like things you get when you sign up.
I never really thought of it that way. I guess they're all basically wearing S&M shit.
Yeah, like, the only person you don't really see is Palpatine, and I think the only reason why is because Palpatine is, like, that dude who calls himself a master. So, like, he's like, I deserve to wear refinery and look kind of like I belong in a goth club. Like...
Darth bad guy. I always wanted to do a guy named Darth Naughty, N-O-T-T-Y.
Really?
He's naughty.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, well, that's going to be episode 2 for us. Thank you guys for sticking in so much. If you like what you heard tonight, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you guys next time.
Word.
Word, really? That's word. Alright.